Now, not that we eat an awful lot of peanut butter in our house, but I've got quite a few of these, which is what our peanut butter comes in. I want to make something out of it. Now, this is actually printed on here, so I can't take this off, unlike when it's a paper label on a jar. I'm not worried about that because I'm going to cover that up anyway. What I need to do is take this top off first, and all I'm going to do is cut around this edge here. You get these types of plastic pots with so many different things, so they're readily available and easy to upcycle. Be careful when you cut through this because it does cut nice and easy, but you will find that you can crack it if you're not careful, and you can cut yourself. But using this as a guide and cutting down does make it a lot easier, and you can also turn it around on your cutting mat. Make sure you use a sharp blade as well. And there we go, that's come off there quite nicely. It's not too bad. There are a couple of areas that are a little bit more raised than others, and I'll just go around there, and I'll go around those with a pair of scissors and try and even that up. Yeah, so that'll do me nicely. I won't chuck that away. I will keep that because it will be useful for cutting out circles, and you never know when I might need a circle for something. And as you know, I always keep everything. So this is foam that came out of the packaging of something I was sent. And what I'm going to do is just cut a strip off of here and then attach that foam to this little pot. And this stuff's really easy to cut. I'm going to cut it larger than what I need to start with. And now I'm also going to cut out a circle of some cardboard as well, which I will need a little bit later on. And I'm going to cut out 2 circles from this. So I'm going to cut out one that's the size of the bottom, and then one that is the size of the top. This larger one I need to be a bit thicker, so I've chosen some thicker cardboard here that I have in my cardboard stock for upcycling. I've just drawn around that. I'm going to cut that out, and then I'm going to stick this to that. We've got the bigger bit now, and what that needs to do, it needs to fit in there with about a 1/2 centimetre, which is about just over an 1/8 of an inch all the way around gap. So this is smaller than this, as you can maybe see in there. There we go, so you can see that's smaller. So we've got those 2 pieces, we've got our foam, and now we need to attach this to here. I forgot to mention, you also need a circle that's going to fit in there that also has a similar sort of gap going all the way around it. I would label these up so you don't use the wrong one. So this is the inside, that's the outside, and that's the lid. Now, we've cut this strip larger than we need it, or wider than we need it, but I'm going to line it up with the top of this here. Put your glue onto your plastic pot rather than directly onto your foam if you're using this type of foam, because then it won't melt it. If you put it directly onto the foam, it does have a tendency to melt it. And then just go round and attach that foam to this in the same sort of way, both top and bottom. And that's all you really need to do. Apart from where you're going to join it, I will put a little seam of glue there. Well, now that's completely covered in foam, all we need to do is exactly the same for our 3 circles. Just cover them in foam, and that I find is easier just to put them on the foam like that. Put the glue on the cardboard, give that a few seconds just to cool down a little bit, pop that on there, and then hold that down. And I'll do that for all of them, and then I'll use the cardboard as a template to cut the piece of foam out. You can cover it really in any material that you've got. I've got some of this fake leather left over from a previous project. You've probably seen me use it in other projects as well. I've got a piece for the inside, and I've got a piece here for the outside. And what I've done is I've overlapped quite a bit on either end. I want this to be quite tight, and now I need to glue these 2 together so they make a tube. And when I turn them inside out, you won't see it. These have all been covered now, so we can put them to one side. And now we need to cover the outside. This is the tube that I glued together. I just need to turn it into the correct way. You could have sewn this if you wanted to, but I didn't want to. Yep, and that looks fine to me. And that needs to go on the outside of this. And it's fitting on there nice and secure. Yeah, so it's on there, and all I need to do is now tuck these bits round here and glue those on to the inside of this pot. Got this bit on here now, and I was going to put this larger one on here and put it on like that, but actually I don't think it looks as nice. So what I've done is I've just cut out another circle to put over that, like that. And I'm going to, again, attach that using my glue gun. Now, hopefully I'll get this in the right place to start with, because that would make my life much easier. And if you're using normal material rather than leather, then you probably won't have as much rippling and bits and pieces as I've had with this leather, but I wanted to use this leather up. And then I'm going to put the inside bit in as well. And this is just another strip of leather, and I turned over the edges of that strip of leather with the hot glue gun, and that is going to go into there like that and glue onto that inside. And I'm going to do the glue just slightly under the turnover bit that I've done, because I've found that the glue sticks much better when it's on the cloth rather than actually on the leather itself. Well, that's all on there now, and we can tidy that up. I'll remove all these little glue bits in a second. They're easy to move. And now I'm just going to put this bit, which we made earlier, right the way down into that bottom. So it's giving it a nice padded, secure bottom as well, because there's nothing better than a nice padded, secure bottom. And then we've got this outside bit as well, which we're going to use as a lid that will fit on there. This is the inside bit of the lid, because it's got the inside written on it, and this is the outside bit of the lid, because that's got that written on it. So all I need to do now is glue that onto there. I will glue a circle of leather onto that first, and then I'll glue that onto there to ensure that that is nicely fitted down and that's all nice and sealed up. Well, the little pot's finished now. The lid fits on it and the base is on it, but it's a bit dull, isn't it? So I want to sparkle this up, and I'm going to sparkle it up using these gems that are on a string. I love these. They're great for this sort of thing, and they're so cheap as well. I use them ever such a lot. I'm going to put it round all my seams, around the top, and I'm going to do some lines coming down the middle. And I'm not going to use my glue gun, oddly enough, for this one. What I'm going to be using is some UHU glue or some all-purpose adhesive. I will link it in the description below with everything else that I've used today, so don't worry, it's really quite cheap glue. But it does stick very, very well. You can be more precise with it than you can be with the hot glue gun. I'm also going to use a cocktail stick to put it on with, and then put the actual stuff onto the rim. As an example, I'm going to go all the way around this rim like this. So I'll put my glue on, I'll wait a few minutes, and then I will put on the little chain of jewels. And that will stick on there really well and quite permanently. I will wait a little bit longer than I have waited here, and then I can just push those onto that, and that will stay on there, look. Lovely. So I'll carry on and do this. When I come back, I'll show you what it looks like. All completely finished and all sparkly. Well, this is all finished now. I'm really pleased how it's came out. It just took me probably a couple of hours to do this from start to finish. Do you know what? I think it's a great upcycle. I love the lid. I think the inside has come out nice. I like all the sparkle on it. You know me and my sparkle. But I mean, you don't have to put sparkle on it if you don't want to. You can do whatever you like with it. I think this would be something that would make a nice gift for somebody. And at the end of the day, all it was just a peanut butter pot. And a bit of leftover leather and bits and pieces. I will link everything that I used today in the description below, so please don't worry. Check out my website. I've got some free downloads on there as well. Just go to the free members area. The link for that is in the description below. Please boop the like button. It really does help me to get my videos out there. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee just to say thank you for any of my videos and help support this channel, then the link for that is in the description below. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.